mention 23rd of March, but they're talking about. Well, we could mention they're talking about having a people's hearing up in Hartford, but maybe we better wait for more information on
All
that.
right, before once it's confirmed.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
And just talk about how we need them to show up
Yeah,
at the Capitol.
Call your legislators.
Alright, we are back. This is the B-Side Podcast for Moving Target. Alright, we are back. And we up and running? We good?
Yeah.
Alright, cool. So we are back, Moving Target with the B-Side. Stop solitary confinement.
Yep.
Yeah, man. So we want to get back into this conversation. What's up? No, you good.
Let me ask a question
okay.
real quick. Just to ask y'all real quick, because we got these beautiful shirts, and once again, it says "Stop Solitary Connecticut." Dismantle the dungeon.
Yep.
And on the back, we got "Stop Solitary CT" and "Torture Abolish Solitary Now." Who did the artwork for the shirts?
We got a team. My brother, Hassan. Shout out to Hassan Johnson. Another my sister that's on our committee, steering committees, Raisha Bivens, and her fiance Raheem Nelson.
Okay.
So yeah, we conceptualized the artwork and put it in graphic design.
Dope, man. Dope for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely dope. Before we get back into the conversation, some of y'all probably just joining us and didn't check our intro for the first hour. You know what I mean? But I want to just again shout out Facts Initiative 2020, Brother Haru, Trav Trillionaire, Kevin Muhammad, Red Pill, Blue Pill, Sabrina Wright. I mean, the list goes on, man. Of how many people were there giving us the information that we need.
And not only that,
for generational wealth.
But you know what? Real talk for generational wealth. And you know what was real dope, Jay? The other vendors that were there was some powerful. We had one sister that, and clinically professional.
Shakira Moore.
Look in your eyes.
Could look you in your eyes, and she could read your
clinically.
And
clinically,
I mean, she's certified doctor. Okay. And I've already, I think who was it on 93.7? What was the DJ's name? That said
DJ Buck. No, you talking about Big Man.
Big Man.
So Big Man on 937 said straight up. What?
Go ahead.
What? I can't say this.
What? You can say that. Go ahead. Not the name.
What? 937.
Oh, that's right. Go ahead, bro. I'm sorry. I'm wild.
He said it again.
Say it again. Where was that?
It's the B-side.
I'm sorry, y'all. I forgot. I'm thinking we still on live on the air, man, on the radio.
Nah, but listen, man. He said that he spoke to, I forgot who the doctor was. Doctor looked him in his eyes.
I think it was a woman too that he said,
and broke down exactly what was wrong with him, and he was on a diet. Stuff that the doctors didn't catch yet. Just from looking in the eyes, there's things that they look for. You know what I mean? Wow. But again, everything was solution based. There was nobody there that was just, you didn't have 50 tables of shea butter. You know what I'm saying? Like, you had people all doing different things that were really providing solutions.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Cut you off, brother. What was it like with the youth? Was there some youth there? Because that's one of my goals is to touch the youth so that they can understand that there's ways to make $1 and besides what
I would say definitely not the demographics that I normally work with from 14 to I would say 22, 23.
Right.
But there was definitely some 25.
It was some youth there, and then not only that, what we did see, I think we seen a lot of people from the community. Like I seen some people that I know, a couple of people I knew came from Bridgeport.
Okay.
So I think as this thing goes further, it's gonna start making more impact. And again, Facts is food, art, clothing, strategy. Food, art, clothing, technology, strategy, food, art, clothing, and technology and shelter. It could be, it's interchangeable.
Right.
Yeah. And yo, man, it was beautiful.
It was beautiful.
And where was that located at?
Hartford. We was in Hartford.
Where people came out from.
People came out, man. Yeah. They showed up. You know what I mean? So
salute to
them, and we're gonna keep doing that. You know what I mean?
And red and blue, we gotta have you red and blue. Y'all gotta get on the moving target.
Yeah,
red and blue pill. It's time.
Well, they've been on already,
but it's time to come back, man.
Yeah, they've actually come on a couple times.
We need that medicine, yo.
Absolutely, man. They dropped some food, bro.
They got their own podcast.
Oh, red and blue, yeah. They're the legends of
and who's their mother? Mother Pill.
Mother Pill.
They worked with
Dr.
Sabi and all them, like real talk, work close,
okay.
hard body.
Absolutely,
yes.
Yeah, man.
Right,
that whole
right.
movement, the Black Conscious movement, you know what I mean? The Prince of Pan-Africanism.
Not that.
Not
this
that,
Dr.
man.
Umar Johnson,
the
Dr.
Prince
Umar
of
now, man.
Pan-Africanism.
Dr. Umar.
The most electrifying speaker.
Dr. Umar said, I got the building. We need a plumber.
Yeah.
We need an electrician.
Yeah.
We need a roof.
Yeah.
We need wiring.
We need
everything.
We
just got the built.
We got paint.
He got a shell.
We got
bro.
plans.
What are you talking about?
We need windows.
Yo, what are you talking about?
But we got
man?
the keys to the building.
Man, but they said, where's the building? Like I said, I'm going to put it up to you.
I'm going to put it up there. Y'all don't listen. Yo, Umar, man, stop getting so bad, bro.
And we love you, brother.
No, for real. We do love you.
We love you, brother.
But it's time.
When y'all gonna get Umar up on here?
He been up here.
He been here?
Yeah, we're gonna bring him back. We're gonna bring him back because I got some things that
But but see, he ain't gonna answer those questions. I want to know what you're doing with the money. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to know what's going on.
It's been hold him to the fire.
It's been 10 years.
What you doing with that, bro?
He's not gonna answer no questions, man. I already know. He gets mad at anybody on his live that tries to question. He calls them a hater. Some of them he put their addresses out there, literally, and was like, "Yo, I'm gonna come see them." I'm like, bro, you are stepping out of the road right now.
Conscious community.
Yeah, what's going on, man?
Yeah,
bro.
Yeah,
so
I know that.
You know what I mean?
Dr. Umar, we love you, but your community is basically saying to you, we gotta keep it 1,000, bro.
Yeah, that's all. That's it.
And do what is.
He definitely dropped jewels, though, man.
He do.
He dropped some jewels.
Don't get me wrong. I got so much respect for his knowledge. He just needs to be under control with his emotions. That's all it is. You know what I mean? That like he being emotional.
Dr. Umar about to come at moving target. Who is telling me I need to be with my emotions?
Nigga is talking this shit to the Prince of Pan-Africanism. That's what he's saying.
So what you saying is y'all need some transparency with this brother about what he's doing.
Yeah,
we need it.
That's all.
We need it, and then
help us understand why you've been collecting this money for so long. And the building that you end up getting needs another $5 million worth of work that you want done for free. Like, help me understand it. Maybe I'm not understanding. I feel like the better move would have been like, yo, we're going to start an online school partnering with black teachers across America for black boys.
But you know what the real...
Let's do that.
Yo, that's beautiful, fam. But you know what? At the end of it all, when he was saying what he needs... I need electricity. I need a roofer. I need you to come to Dr. Umar and say, I need a carpenter. All these things. And then he said, and I need it for free.
Yeah. If you know somebody that knows somebody.
Yeah, and then he said, I need it for free. You need to do this for free.
And then repeated it 4 times. You need, because that's what Umar, man, don't get me started, man.
Sound like a minister to me.
Oh,
man.
I'm just saying.
Oh, man.
It's real. So like Jay was saying, as even in going into this work, let me ask you all a question because we're talking about ending solitary.
Wait, before you go into that, again, I want to just shout out Tyson Fury too, man. I don't give a fuck how bad people are about, you know what I mean? The white man beating the black man. Oh yeah, we good. We off the radio now.
Hey yo, Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder. Anybody that know that man that might be able to put in the word Deontay Wilder, you better get right.
You better
son.
get that conditioning.
You better get right, bro.
What's wrong with you, man?
You better get right,
Second
man,
round,
and get this thing popped off, man. For real.
To my equilibrium. Man, listen. You got gas.
Everybody catch a bad one. See how they gonna eat his lunch right now?
Yo, you see all the memes?
Tyson Fury, you
see all the memes?
They killing him right now, man.
I ain't see the fight. I ain't see the memes.
The memes are they are killing Deontay.
He licked this
hold up. There was a meme.
He's licked the blood off the ear.
Hold up, Mother Fair. Please.
Brother Fair.
No, Mother Fair. I said Mother Fair. Like, all due respect, I'm only saying the meme that I saw when I say this meme. I don't know if I should even say it.
Maybe you shouldn't, man.
Yeah, maybe you should.
People always start off with.
I know.
I don't know if I should do this.
You already know.
Right, yeah.
Respectfully, I'm saying, yo, respectfully, yeah.
Because I was about
man, you about to say some dumb shit.
Nah.
I'm gonna need you to shut that down.
All jokes aside.
All jokes, yeah, man.
Is that it?
That's him licking his ear, man.
Yeah.
That's how he did it.
Oh,
he's
Moving his
a-
tongue.
That's not the meme I'm talking about, though.
So that's why
I
you fuck with him, because he animal?
Nah. I fuck with him because that is like anybody who overcomes suicide and mental illness like that, the way he did, and get back in there and do what he did last time and now.
Yeah.
Salute.
I gotta
But
see
the
the
meme
fight,
that I
man.
was gonna say when I was about to say it,
But
I
you
looked at
said
Brother
not to
Fair,
say
and Brother
it.
Fair was looking at
And
me
that's a
like,
good idea.
She's looking at you like, oh, yeah, don't say that.
Yeah.
What you gonna say?
Pull it back,
I
man.
said I'm good. I'm not saying it.
Okay.
I want to know what it is.
Just go online
I can't throw
and
it
look for the beat.
Y'all talk about
That's all
that
I'm
later,
saying.
man.
All right.
They killing our boy, man.
That's all right.
But he gonna bounce back.
Oh,
He gonna
that's
bounce
terrible.
back.
He definitely
Wow.
is.
Better.
He definitely is. He
better.
definitely is.
Is he gonna give him a rematch?
It's in the contract.
Yeah. What? No.
It's
What's
in the
He
contract.
got 30 days.
But it's in the contract that what's his name has to take a rematch.
Because the first,
If he lost, he Deontay Wilder was the real card of this.
Yeah,
he
right.
was the real one promoting. You know what I mean?
Right.
So he put it in the contract that if he lost,
Yeah.
it has to be a rematch.
because their last
Okay.
fight was a draw. And if you think about it, I watched that last fight and I'm like, yo, this guy, man. I'm watching him like he can't really mess with this dude. And
Who? You talking about Wilder?
Wilder can't really mess with
He can't
this dude.
box, man. He's not a boxer.
But I'm a black man, so I want to support him.
All
No,
day,
no.
man.
I
You know
feel
what I'm
that.
saying?
I feel
All
that.
day.
But I'm watching it, I'm like, yo, he can't really mess
Look,
with this
he's like,
dude.
And honestly, when we
And he
talk,
playing with him too, like he doing all this extra.
and when we talked last night before the fight, even what I said, Jazz, I did say, I said, yo, Fury better. I said, Wilder better be careful.
Yeah.
Remember last night when we was talking, you was like, yeah. I said, yo, he better be careful, man. Oh man, woke up this morning, tragedy.
Should have put some money.
Yo, the first thing I seen was
know.
a picture with his lip to the side. I said,
know.
Oh,
no.
my God.
Yeah, I did
Wilder,
see
what
that. You
happened,
saw that
man? What happened? I called Jay.
Yeah.
What they do to him?
Yeah.
picture? My
He
boy
beat
like
the
that.
brakes off him.
He
Wow.
popped him up. Sorry.
So
That was great.
how realistic, right? Getting back to what we talking about, yo, and the solitary confinement, right?
Yes, sir.
How realistic is it for us to go to the commissioner or the people from the union or even some of the legislative people and say, listen, being that y'all don't want to end this and you're actually fighting against this, will y'all go spend a couple of hours or a day in solitary confinement to see what this is like?
Okay.
That's exactly what I'm asking the commissioner to do. When we have a cell, oh, I didn't mention that we have a replica of a solitary cell that's going to be at the Capitol. We're assembling it tomorrow. And we're having a press conference to open it up to the public on Tuesday.
Yeah,
and
that's
one of the
incredible.
things I want to do, which I'm going to do, is ask the commissioner and the deputy commissioner, at least those two, to spend some time in solitary cell. And I'm going to ask them, it'd be nice if some of his correctional officers would spend a little time in there too. Because one thing happened in Colorado, the commissioner there spent some time in solitary cell, and he said that's what made him change. He said he knew things had to
He
change
spent
after
a
that.
lot of
He
time
made a
in there,
lot,
too.
yeah, and he made a lot of changes after that.
I think he was almost 20. No,
Yeah, it was close to 20. I think it was
24 hours
21.
that
Yeah, I
he
think it was
spent
21
inside
hours.
there.
Wow.
And he said, no, we got to change it. So they've made a lot of changes in Colorado.
Right here in our state, Gary Winfield spent.
Yeah.
I think he spent about 4 hours. His goal, I think, was to spend 20 hours.
He said,
But
I got to get out of here.
After 4,
His-
he's
Yo,
like,
Gary said.
So-
No,
could you imagine?
his cohort didn't like. They didn't feel comfortable with him being in there either. So that's another thing too. They really could not stand seeing
Gary said
their.
he was gonna do a
their-
David Blaine.
Yeah, they
And he
couldn't
was
do
like, I'm
that.
gonna do 20 hours.
Yeah.
Hell no, bro. Nobody willingly goes in there and wants to really do that or could really sustain that.
And it's
just
really
too
not
much.
the same experience. Like when you go into the cell now, you go in, you know you can get out whenever you get ready. You can just walk out the door. You're not being abused. So it's not the same as someone that's actually in Northern, what they're actually experiencing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you can't even sit in there and not being abused and taunted and all that stuff, you know
that
you can't do
the
it.
context of why you're there, you know that you're about to leave.
Yeah,
and go
whenever you get
home.
But
ready.
that doesn't
You-
help.
Can I say
that's not
something?
even
I'm-
the same
I'm
shit.
sorry, can I also say something that if we think about when you're in solitary confinement, it's not just the physical that you're going through. You're going through audio assault as well, and people don't understand that.
Mm.
It's either two things that you're going through. You're going through absolute silence that could actually drive people crazy, or it's overwhelming sense of not sense, but overwhelmingly loud with people screaming, yelling, banging,
they're insane,
arguing, and door slamming, boom, and or the keys from all of that. Actually, when I think about these things, and when you want to speak about PTSD, those are the things that sometimes, like I watched a movie the other day about prison, and the door slammed. Actually, it was what's the name of that movie?
It wasn't sure.
50 Cent's new TV show.
For Life.
Oh, New Life.
For Life.
For Life. Okay.
And when the door slammed, it jarred me.
Yes, sir.
Because that's all I remember hearing is boom. But the people that don't understand about what that does to you, like just you can't even hear yourself think, or all you do is hear yourself, and that's how come some people, when it's like dead silent, people who have mental illnesses, they hear voices or and all that's a coping mechanism that your brain does to keep you. You know, because people need connections.
Absolutely.
And I forget what year that was. Mother Fair, you was with us, right, when we brought the youth to the prison on Welly Avenue? Did you go with us
I
that
don't
year?
know
Do
if
you
I
remember
went.
that? Do you remember that?
No.
When we
I'm trying to
okay,
think.
so
I know I've
me
been
and
to Welly,
Bless,
but I can't remember.
and we brought the youth to the prison on Welly Avenue, man. And I absolutely, when I got inside, and we was letting the youth go inside the cells. Fam, I felt so. I was like, yo, I gotta go. I wanted to leave. And Bless was like, yo, fam, you good? And I'm telling you, the anxiety of it, just watching people walk in them joints, yo, it really makes you feel like it could destroy you, man. It could destroy a person, man. This is serious.
Yeah,
It's a fact.
So I know there were some other things that you wanted to make sure we expounded on, you know, because there's never enough time in that first hour. So I always wanted to make another hour to really expound on other things. What are some things that we weren't even able to discuss in the first hour?
Well, some of the things I want to make sure before we go back into talking about solitaire is some of the events that we have coming up. So hopefully we can get people out.
Let's do it.
And like we said, we're going to have the cell at the Capitol starting Tuesday. We're going to have it till March 4th. It's going to be up there from 9 to 5 every day. So we want people to call their legislators and tell them that they want them to go in and experience being in the cell.
Right.
March 21st, I don't have a time yet, so they're going to have to keep up. We'll get the information out, but there's going to be a vigil around Whaley Jail. One of the women there who's a part of our team, Colleen Lord, her son died in solitary. I think we talked about him in the first half. He died in solitary in 5-point restraints last year, and so she wants to have a vigil in his memory, and that's going to be March 21st outside Whaley. So we hope people will come out and just be a support for her.
I got to bring it back to February. Actually, this Wednesday coming up, I have an event, like an information panel to educate the public and the students, the Black Law Students Association at Quinnipiac.
Okay.
They're sponsoring it as well
That's
as
what's up.
Stop Solitary and the school itself, the law school. So that's this Wednesday. Tuesday actually.
From what time, brother?
That's at 3 o'clock at
At Quinnipiac.
At Law School?
Law School.
Okay.
Absolutely. This Tuesday actually I was invited to speak about solitary confinement. You know, to lead up to that event on Wednesday at Quinnipiac as well. It's a Black History dinner. You know, Don Sawyer invited me there to speak about that. And then March 24th, me and a colleague who's a former warden, actually, that's on the steering committee with us, Bob Gillis. We was invited to speak in Bridgeport at the Rotary Club to speak about our work in solitary confinement. And then in March, I think 24th, 25th, or 26th, one of those dates is not confirmed yet. I was invited to the American University in DC to speak, and that was due to when me and Barbara and another one of our colleagues went to congressional briefing out there.
Yeah.
So they want me to come out there and educate the students out there.
So for anybody who's listening, you could always just play this back. You know what I'm saying? Play it back and just go get
support,
all these dates.
Man. Go
support. Absolutely.
Go to the website.
Something else I wanted to touch on, man. and I'm always conflicted with this, you know what I mean? But at this point, I work with a lot of kids in elementary schools, you know what I'm saying? Some badass kids. There are some badass kids. I know there's no bad kid at their core. They're misguided. But there's some kids that I'm like,
I wish I could beat them right now.
You really think it's sweet? Like, you don't know. This one kid said to a teacher,
follow that kid home.
Well, no.
And you'll see what some of it
No, I don't need motherfucker. You gotta remember, I've been doing this a long time. I know where they're coming from.
Oh, okay.
I just said, I don't think there's a kid bad at his core. I think they're misguided and around. But it doesn't negate the fact that when the kid says to a grown woman, and she says, what sports do you play? And he says masturbation.
Oh, no.
Alright? And then when you say to a grown man, suck my... It's like... And the thing is, no matter who comes and talks to them and tries to be real, they think they're invincible. We know those kids. Now, I know their surroundings are... Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I used to be that kid too. But guess what?
But I don't think you was that kid, though. These kids today, I mean, you would have said something like that to an adult? Well, that's what I'm talking about. It's a whole different bag.
My whole front's missing.
But even back then, I was the kid, though, that was really bad, though, like back in that time. But my whole point is that life beat me up and humbled me.
Right.
And my thing is that scared straight shit don't work with these kids.
No.
So... sometimes
I don't even operate from scared straight. When I have kids coming to me, I'm more trying to get them to sit down and calm down and let's talk about what's going on, that kind of thing. I don't go for that scared stuff because I always feel like, even like they have Project Longevity and they have all these cops and FBI, all them people coming in there trying to scare the kids. And I say, if a kid has no hope, scaring them is not going to change nothing.
Well, see, this goes into my question of the fact that, yes, scaring them might not change anything. Something needs to spark them to see reality.
Sure.
Because there's a group of men that surround these kids pouring out love and support. No scaring, love, support. And there's a group, there's some that are just like,
at a certain point when you're like that, I'm speaking from experience. Being that kid. And regardless of how people, may see me now. And they can't understand or fathom of who you were.
Well, you grew
you know
up.
What I'm saying? But when you're like that, you gotta go through some shit. You gotta actually, because you're resistant to love and help and all and wisdom.
So you're
resistant to that.
So my question to you
know everything.
Right. So my question to you is.
Facts.
My conflict with that is, on one hand, I'm like, nah, man, we gotta always show them love, right? On the other hand, I'm like, maybe you need to know how real this shit is. So what would you say to having them actually have to experience solitary confinement? Almost the way Gary...
The way it damages your brain? No, that's not a solution for me. Because, and especially at their age, a couple of days, your brain starts functioning differently.
I'm talking about 20 minutes.
Oh, 20 minutes.
I'm talking about going in there and having to sit in there.
Oh, that might be okay. But why do you got?
I didn't go to school in Connecticut. I don't know anything about.
There's schools that do stuff.
Schools that have actual.
See, I'm conflicted with it though,
because holding cells.
Okay.
Hartford had some, and we had to put an end to that.
So you're exposing them to prison early.
So this is. But are they doing it to? Are they doing it to discipline? Or are they doing it to show them, look, you don't want this? Okay, I ain't with that.
But it's
but to show them you don't want this, I'm not. I never was with bringing the kids in the back of the cop car or like, nah, man. But then
I'm put them in a room though, where they can just sit and think.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
It's a kid, right? I was in Carl Robinson. He's passed away now. When I say kid, I think he was 22 at the time.
Okay.
And this kid was, first of all, he was bigger than you. He was like, but he used to be fat. But he got big, and he got bullyish and grimy, right? But at the core of him, like that example with the water, I knew the essence of this kid. So and I know he's hurting. So I used to like he used to do all kind of grimy shit and all that, and like he got beef all throughout the city. But he used to speak to me. When he speak to me, all that tough guy shit and all that,
It's out.
he could. And it's not that I'm gangster. It's that he could be himself with me, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And I would speak to him, and I'd be like, he used to be like, yo, bro, I don't want to go back to. I'm not even gonna say where he's from, but I don't want to go back to the hood. I want to do something. He used to tell me all the positive shit that he wanted to do. And I'm like, yo, bro, listen, you ain't got nothing to prove to nobody.
Right.
At the same time, you got something to prove to yourself and your family.
No doubt.
So he went home, and you know, he got caught up, you know, hanging with the same type of people, got set up, got murdered. But my point is being that, like, kids like that, if you could speak to these kids and show them these, this is an example, like with this gangs, with everybody gang now, right? Now, if you look at all of the gangs that's getting swept up, right? Everybody's gang. It's cool to be a gang member now. Now it's not when I was in a gang and it was dangerous to be in a gang.
Right.
It's cool. It's a fad to be
right.
So everybody's throwing up gang signs and all that shit, right? But then when they come through and they sweep up everybody, because that's what they do. They let you and they watch all your social media and they got plants in there and all that and CIs and everything. And then when it goes down, then people want to cry wolf. If you could show these examples, or the young rapper kid Pop Smoke that just got murdered, you know, in Cali and all that, and
for some of these
examples, look, this is gonna happen to you, bro. This is gonna happen.
And there are just some.
See,
It's not enough.
To me, man.
They
I
like,
do
yo,
not
they
believe that.
Yo, to me,
you
those
know
Some
this.
need a whole lot more than others, but I don't see any kid as you can't save him. I think a lot of these.
I'm not
No,
saying
for the
that.
Oh.
I'm not saying that. I'm talking about.
I'm
right now in their life. They not hearing
And
that.
those are some of the
I'm not
ones.
saying you can't save them.
Those are some of the ones
not
that
at all.
unfortunately, those are some of the ones that unfortunately, like y'all was saying, that they just don't get it until, like, when we used to go talk to the kids at the school. I had one kid, man, that I'm talking to everybody and you can see their light bulb coming on, because I believe in giving everybody the benefit of the doubt till you show that you just. And one of them, I just looked at him and I said, after we talked about everything and all of this, I looked at him and I said, yo, okay, this is what you want. This is what you want. Everything, you could see it, things made sense to him. Boom, boom, boom. Yo, some of his people he's with, like, yo, yeah, you know what? Yo, I want to do something different, Brother Remedy, whatever. He was like, his whole attitude was like, it's like, this is what you want. You're not going to change until you get knocked upside your head.
And it's just going to have to happen to you. And that's why I tell them, yo, either life is going to teach you, or you can take heed right now. You know what I'm saying? You could receive this love you're getting, or life can give you what you need to get.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I
It's
think
really
working
your
with
choice.
kids is multifaceted. I think it's about giving love. It's about connecting to them. It's about looking at really, like you said, the kid would talk to you when he wouldn't talk to anybody else. You gave him something that other people weren't giving him. You took the time to get to know him and see beyond that. That's how I see kids. I see beyond this hard exterior, because the hard exterior many times is their only defense in life.
The thing about
So if you can just get past that.
See, the thing about I get past it with all of them, because no kid is bad at his core. That's the reason why I'm consistent. You know what I'm saying? And I think I can speak for anybody that works with kids in this room. We look past that.
Right.
At the same time, you got to be able to receive.
Right.
You have to.
And the other part that I didn't talk about is we also have to connect with their parents. Like when I was seeing kids, I didn't just see just the kid. I always wanted to have the parents involved too, because no matter what I'm telling you and what I'm getting from you, you got to go home, and you're going to get the same thing at home. And we don't always look at that too.
We have to.
Yeah, we have to.
If you are working with kids and you're not looking at the home, you're not working with kids.
You know, some of the parents, and I know this from experience with some of the fathers.
Yeah.
That they're not real. They're fathers because they you know, had sex with the mother, but they're not fathers.
They're not.
They're dads.
When you come in and the kid is relating to you and he's getting things from you, and he might even be going back and saying, yo, Jay told me this, and the father feel a type of way because he's like, oh, you trying to raise my son and do what I'm not doing, and his ego gets involved.
Sometimes the uncle too.
And he might actually try to sway him away from the positive shit that
that's
trying
facts.
But not only that, and real quick, that is also a psychological thing, right? Because, and this is speaking from experience, you can have somebody that the father's necessarily not trying to, but that person is looking, that kid, me as that kid, is looking at that person that's trying to help you. Right. As my father left me, I don't know if I can trust you. Right. You here for me and you showing me this, and I see that it's good, this, that, and the third, but then you start pushing away, you start rejecting the kid.
To keep from being rejected.
My father rejected me,
that comes down to consistency.
Yeah, before you push me away, I'm pushing you away.
Right. And that's actually the main thing that happens. So it's the consistency that you keep working with them. Even when they're giving you a hard time,
you keep at them. You let them know they're worth it.
And the next day you go there like, yo, what's good? We here. We on a new day. I'm not holding that. Like, I'm not looking at you. The thing is, though, again, for some of these kids, because I was one of them, where life had to teach me. I saw people giving me love, and I saw people that looked through my shit and looked at who I was. But I still was hard-headed. That's just what it was.
I think kids are gonna mess up. That's period. That's life.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the kid that said, I do masturbation.
Oh,
I'm talking about the kid.
This is a whole different world.
Yeah,
that's a
different world. Kids say that like it's religious to say that
to a grown
man. I can't even imagine that.
So my thing is, I'm talking about that. Like, let's just be clear in context. We're not talking about general.
Right.
When it comes to those kids, sometimes some would say having them experience 20 minutes in the solitary confinement, or having you come in and speak to them about the details, and somehow giving them this teaching and this understanding that they might not normally think. Some would say that that's effective. And I'm conflicted with it because I'm like, is it effective, or are we only planting the seeds of that trauma that comes from it?
It depends on why.
How you just said plant the seed, that's exactly what I was about to speak about, planting the seeds. And I think we are both examples of seeds that may not have they might have grown to, when the people that was planting seeds in us wanted them, but it's the same thing what God does. And I don't want to get too religious, but God plants seeds as well.
Absolutely.
Our parents plant seeds that they may not grow at the time,
right?
But eventually,
they're there.
I had to go through 10 years in prison.
Yeah.
And my daughter growing up, from when I went inside, she was 6. I come home, she's 16, 17. They sent me back for violation, for trying to go to work from in the halfway house. They violated me for trying to go to work, I wanted to go to work and he was telling me no. So I went back for another 6 months. So I did 10 and a half years. So I come back, my daughter's 17. She graduated high school. Now she's 19. And I lost all these years. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't able to hug my mom for years because I was getting in trouble. I was getting bullshit tickets, and now they will put you on 2 years of loss of contact. So even if I'm not even getting in trouble no more, and I'm like, yo, fuck that, I don't even want to get in trouble no more. I'm not hanging with y'all niggas. Y'all go outside, y'all do this. I don't smoke weed. I'm chilling. I'm trying to go home. It follows me. So I go back to population. I still can't get contact visits.
We got Zaki.
You know what that does to somebody when you can't actually hug somebody for years?
Yeah, man.
For fucking years, bro.
We got Zaki. You met me connected with Zaki. So through text, I connect you with Zaki.
Okay.
So Zaki pushes policy and legislation on collateral consequences.
Oh, okay.
He's at the head of that. You know what I'm saying? He's doing some amazing work in New York. We'll be on the 29th talking about that. But
they just had something like that in Hartford last week.
The collateral consequences.
Yeah.
He might have been there.
But
real quick, that speaks to those collateral consequences. Things like that it follows you even after the fact. But even to that, that's the part that I want these. Now, granted, some of these kids I'm working with that are, like I said, like the example of that kid that said that. You know what I mean? They are in elementary school. One thing I tell the teachers is
that's what's amazing.
I said, but you got to remember, you're working with elementary school students. No matter how they are, the seeds that you're planting, you're not going to see it in this school year.
Oh yeah.
See, when I worked with high school kids, I worked with them on the freshman year. 5 years later, I'm always getting a call, Jay, about how they grew because they went through life and had to start doing adult shit. You know what I'm saying? Elementary school, whatever you planted, they might hit you up when they're a senior in high school.
Right.
Maybe.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing that you got to remember. But what I want them to really get is not just about you can go to jail, or you can be. It's about you can be dealing with this for the rest of your life.
Bro.
It will follow you.
Yeah.
Like that's the part that I want them to really get.
Absolutely.
That's serious.
Now
It's that serious.
if you think about just like the symposium that she was just mentioning, when they was talking about collateral damages, and just being a felon alone, just being hit with that stigma of a felon, is like you can't get adequate housing. If I was down and out and I needed to live in the projects, I couldn't live in the projects because I'm a felon. And you got people who live in the projects who are felons, but I'm pretty sure they're not. They don't have the lease. They're not.
Right. They're not on the lease.
Yeah, or going to rent an apartment. And there was testimony. I think actually Robin Porter gave some testimony in senator. She's a senator or representative?
Representative.
Okay.
Robin Porter gave some testimony at the symposium. She was speaking about she works with employers, and some of the employers would tell. I mean, I'm not employers. The people who do housing or whatever, and they would say that they would rather 20 people with misdemeanors. They would give them apartments as opposed to one person with a felony.
And the technology, to add on to that, the technology, fam, that I heard that they're using now, you know how like you had to do extra steps, a lot of employers had to do extra steps to pull up felonies of a person that's not supposed to show up because they usually don't go back past 10 years.
Yeah.
Their computers are automatically doing it now. The technology and the software that they're using automatically will pull up. Fam, my felony is 1997. And right now, some of these truck companies are telling me right now, nah, because of that.
Yeah.
Since 1997, but I really want to ask y'all. Speaking about solitary too. Have y'all noticed or seen any difference with how men and women deal with solitary?
That's a great question.
How they're.
I think Barbara can touch on that. And
because I actually volunteer in your facility. I hear women, they have just as hard a time. I mean, I know some women that are completely messed up from solitary, but they said it is different because just for sanitary reasons, stuff like that, they'll put you in there and they don't even think about you might need something, you know. They don't care. They don't care. So in that respect, I think it's even worse.
It's even worse.
It's entirely worse.
Yeah.
If you think about it, and one of the reasons why New Jersey got their legislation passed, and one of the reasons why we're modeling after is because they gave testimony. They documented testimony of people who was directly impacted, and one of the people that was in the testimony that gave testimony was a woman who gave birth in solitary confinement, and her baby died.
Wow.
So when people see these actual events, they don't give a fuck about numbers. If you be like, yo, 80,000 people was in solitary confinement, people, their eyes start to glaze over after a couple of minutes. They don't give a fuck about that shit. But
because they think the worst of the worst people are in there. They really truly believe that. And they say, well, these are all them very violent people that you can't have around other people. And so they don't care.
Pregnant? Why is she even in solitary confinement? She's pregnant, bro. Like,
and that's one of the things we're saying, that a pregnant woman should never even be in solitary.
No. Yeah. Not at all.
But we had a woman right here in Europe. She wasn't even in solitary. She was in her regular room and was calling for help because she was going into labor, and they wouldn't get. Nobody came to help her. Right? Yeah, and her baby, God bless her, lived, but it was born in the toilet.
Oh my God.
Yo, man, this is
Connecticut. This is like not some other foreign country.
And see, to me again, what I always say, this is the USA, United Savages of America.
Yeah.
This speaks to the system that we're living in, this savage ass system that we're living in, and what really needs to be done about it, man. Because people are losing their lives. The brother, the dude on Welly Avenue, y'all say he was in 5-point restraints and found dead, and his body was in rigor mortis. What's the mother name again?
Colleen Lord.
And Colleen, we apologize. I apologize if I just spoke of that in a very in a harsh way or not. You know, I mean, I apologize for that if she was to see this and feel like that. You know, it's the anger that made me say it like that, man. You know, her baby, that's her baby regardless, and he was found like this. So these are the savage conditions and things that we really need to try to get in front of and deal with and get more people to come out and try to help do something about this, man. This is
And that's what it's
insane.
going to take. It's going to take us coming out. I'm on this trail because they hurt my child. You hurt my child 20 years ago. But I'm not going to end this battle until I see the place that you hurt him in is no longer standing. That's how, and I'm going to continue to fight this. Everybody's not like that.
Right. What are the steps being taken by, and I'm actually calling on all black or willing therapists, you know what I'm saying? But specifically black and brown, I'm calling on them to be at front and center for every single inmate that's leaving from dealing with solitary confinement, dealing with incarceration, period.
That's it. Incarceration
You know what
alone.
I'm saying? But specifically, since we're talking about solitary confinement, like they need to be in place, willing to offer their service. You know what I'm saying? Do you see anybody stepping up, willing to offer some type of counseling?
I don't see it.
Before your answer, let me to add to that. Do they are the inmates that come out afforded some type of like you have a right to go see a therapist, something
and access?
Right.
Yeah, a lot of times they have state insurance, so that means you're not going to go to some of the best places anyway.
Absolutely. Husky. But
Yeah.
listen, when before you leave, you're supposed to have a package done, a discharge plan package. It's supposed to be 6 months before you're going home. So any services that you may need, let's say you need housing, let's say you need food stamps, you need mental health treatment. They're supposed to 6 months before you go home, they're supposed to make sure that they contact people in the world, they set up, let's say you need to go in a shelter, whatever it is. However, and from my experience, they will wait 20, 30 days before you go home. They don't even get your nothing is adequate in you know what you really need. Right. It's just like, all right, whatever, time to go home. They call you in the counselor's office. They be like, well, you going home next week, right? Like, yo, but I'm supposed to. I need this. I need this. I don't got my license. I don't got this. I do.
I mean, to
They
me,
don't care.
to
A lot
me,
of them
that's-
end up homeless on the street.
To me, that sounds like, once again, money is big. Incarceration is big business.
Big
And
business.
as long as they're not giving you these tools to survive, they know it's a great
coming
chance
back.
that
You're
you're
gonna come
going
back.
back.
I might even have to. I mean, in full transparency, I have a paper that's due, right? And my thesis is on. My thesis is. I'm still forming it, but it's basically saying that solitary confinement contributes to recidivism.
Oh, of course it does.
Because I just don't see how it doesn't. You know what I mean? Like, and with that being said, to your point of this being big business, you know, the more we leave them, the more we have them leaving fucked up.
Yeah.
The
The more likely they're coming back. They know that.
they know that shit.
It's like, I mean, it's like any business. If I had a hotel and nobody was in my hotel and my rooms were empty, I'd be out of business.
Yeah.
So that's why we have a lot of private prisons now actually have a contract with their state that says that you have to keep your facility, the state has to keep their facilities at least 90% full or they can sue them. And so what do you think the state's going to do? They're going to keep the cells full.
Wait a minute.
Now,
Now, that's a fact. That's 100% fact. Bring that back.
That's a
again.
fact.
The private prisons
Have a contract with the states
with the state.
that says you have to keep my facility over 90% full
It's like
or
a
I
quota.
can sue you.
Yo, come on, man.
That's why, like, the COs
Come on,
actually
man.
call us job security. You get a bunch of COs that be like, you job security. Like,
Yo, when
so
I was
basically,
leaving,
they don't give a fuck about you.
Yo,
when
really
I was
don't.
leaving, taking the 12, I did parole for 12 years, fam. I again thank the Most High for my village, because my mentality was I'm not coming back. But literally, when I took the 12-year parole, the sheriff at the courthouse, down in the
In
the
the bullpen or whatever.
he said, "Yo, you gonna be back."
Yeah,
bro.
I've
You
heard
just
that
did
said
what? He
to
said,
a
"You
lot of
coming
people."
back. You coming
Yeah.
back.
So
You coming back?"
yesterday at the Facts Initiative, right, we were talking about the legislation with cannabis and shit like that, and he was like, I forgot the question I asked. I think it was more about It was something about like what is keeping it maybe from being legalized that I asked or something. I forgot what it was, but what the dude was saying was right. He was like, yo, politically, what it was I was, as much as we're trying to get into this industry, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, we also need people on legislation as far as cannabis and making sure that the motherfuckers who are locked up off of marijuana offenses are out. You know what I'm saying?
They ain't having
so
that.
one thing that they said was the only thing that's gonna happen with that is you gotta come with the bag and get to these politicians. Like the whole lobbying, being the lobbyist thing, that's just the way it goes. If you got the money and you go to the politicians, they'll push the vote. You know what I mean?
But another thing besides having the money is having enough people show up too.
Okay.
If you have enough people show up, like the vaccine
Can
people,
you talk
over
about-
700 people showed up, they're paying attention to them.
Talk about why that matters so much, because on one end I'm like, yeah, man, like who do we gotta get that got the bag to be able to go to these politicians?
Because
and be like, yo, but real quick, I think people need to know why it's so effective to bring mad people.
Because people, the representatives, senators, they're supposed to be working on behalf of their constituents. So if their constituents are all showing up, filling that Hartford Capitol, which white people do that. They have an issue. You go there, they're all over the place. Over the place. You can't find no parking space nowhere around the Capitol.
What were they
there
for?
Anti-vaccinations, like whatever you call
and
it.
they were there testifying for 22 hours. They were there. People were there in the middle of the night waiting to testify. Now, why don't we do that?
Because we gotta work.
Come out, yo, we don't do
we
that.
No, I'm so tired of that.
Hold on.
Yeah.
You know that's what
No. I know people gonna say that, but I worked
It don't
every
take
day
nothing
and
to
went to
sign up
school.
to
And when I know there was something important going on at the Capitol, that was my vacation day. So I don't want to hear that
The reason
BS.
why we don't do that, and you are very blessed, and you're very blessed, I'm very blessed, because common sense isn't common anymore. We are the most traumatized people on the face of the earth. The black, the brown people living in America have been the most traumatized people mentally on the face of the earth. We have been taught to do everything that's gonna go against our own benefit.
Yeah.
We've been programmed to do every and anything that goes against our own benefit, and that's why we don't show up. But not only that, the most important reason why we need to show up is because a lot of us that are fighting on these levels don't got the bag.
No, and
So
that's why.
that's one of the reasons why it's so important that we have to come out. But we ain't got the bag.
Because since we don't have the bag, and I think people need to know, just like what you said, look, say the constituents of the senator, right?
Right, the senator or the representative, whoever's trying to pass the bill, those people need to show up to support them.
To support them.
Yeah, because you know what? Some of those legislators behind the scenes, they might support your issue, but if their constituents don't support it, they're not gonna.
They're not gonna publicly do it.
Yeah,
And you know who
they're
got
not
the
gonna do
bag?
it publicly.
Who got the bag? People who wasn't directly impacted by it.
Right.
They're the people who got the bag. And
So just so I'm clear, you got the person who is pushing the legislation.
Right.
The people are supporting that person.
They really need the people
And that
support
person
them.
is called what position? The
The,
person
their
that's pushing the
constituents?
legislation? The person that's pushing the legislation, that's there actually
the state rep or the senator.
Okay, so the state rep
Or
so
the senator.
Or the
Their
senator.
constituents, the
And
voters,
so
the
now
people.
all of us show up.
Yeah.
Now they're pushing it to the higher court, right? And if the higher court sees enough people backing the senator or the state rep, then that's when they'll actually make a move, or is that when they'll actually pay attention?
I think both. They
both.
pay
Okay.
attention and make a move.
Okay.
That goes
Yeah.
with anything. Like, you need more people, bro.
You need more people.
You need more. People don't believe you until you got people. They like,
Facts.
oh shit. There's mad people saying that shit. It ain't just him and a couple other stragglers. You got mad people saying the same thing.
So if we showed up like they did in Lean On Me for Joe Clark, we would shut it
We
down.
would make a
Let's shut it on
difference.
down.
We would make a
Yeah,
difference.
we would
But
make
we
a
don't. Let me
difference.
give you another example of people showing up.
Sad,
It
man.
is, though.
People need to like, yo,
I-
let's get it.
Let me tell you this real quick. Police commission in New Haven. Okay, I used to go to their meetings, and then after a while going, I said, you know what? It's unfair that I just sit here and listen to you, and I can't say anything. We're the public. Because let me tell you, a lot of stuff be going on that police commission meetings that our residents don't know anything about. A lot of crooked cops getting away with stuff because we don't show up. None of us asking any questions. So what I said, when I made that, they hemmed and hawed for several months, and they said, okay, public comment's part of our agenda now. Okay, so we got public comment on the agenda. Now that we have it, okay, where's the public coming in? So then I started saying, well, for the last couple of months, I've been saying, you need to move it out of the police department. People don't feel comfortable here. We need to be in a space outside the police department. So they hemmed and hawed over that. Well, I brought it to the mayor as he was coming in office that this is something that I've been asking and pushing, and they keep stalling. He came to the meeting last week or this month, and one of his first things he said, this meeting is moving outside the police department. And you know why? What made it easy for him to do that? Because that was the night I told people to show up, and people showed up for Miguel Pittman, and so the place was packed, standing room only. So they wanted him and haw, but when the people show up, what you gonna do? So now I'm saying that can't be the only night that we show up, because then they can say, they can take it back to the police department and say, see, well, you know, that people are showing up, we might as well put it where it was comfortable. Right. So that's my next thing. Okay, now that we have this, people, one day out of the month, you need to show up. And then you get to see some of the things that's going on behind closed doors at the police department, because they don't have no clue. They would be shocked at the stuff that goes on.
And don't show up because, see, and that's another thing I don't like. I don't like the people who show up and become the media activists or social media activists because it's the hot topic.
Right,
because
right.
It's popular.
Right, right.
Understand the effects that this has on generations.
Right.
That's why all them white people showed up like that, because they're thinking about their babies. This is on generations. So showing up once a month to help stop something that's affecting us for generations, there shouldn't be even a question about it. It doesn't need to be on the front paper for you to do it.
I got an idea, yo.
What is it, Frank?
Call me
what
crazy.
is your idea?
Hold on now. Hold on, yo. This is real talk. This is what I suggest we do, man.
Word, what's up?
I suggest we go around to all the mosques in New Haven and in Connecticut. Go around to as many churches, all the churches in New Haven and in Connecticut, and tell them if they don't start talking to their people that come to their churches and asking their people, do you know anybody? And I guarantee you, because we're mostly black, I guarantee you, how many people will raise their hands if they pass and say, how many people know somebody that's locked up right now?
Right.
Hey,
they say
how many people?
The pastor
yo, if we don't start getting some help from the clergy, from the ones that are taken from our communities, we're going to be outside your church and we're going to start shutting you down. We're going to be outside your mosque and we're going to start shutting you down.
I've been in the church.
And if you do that, I bet you're going to see a difference. They ain't shopping that money.
Listen, I've been in
Let's
the
get
church.
thing on that level.
Let's do it.
I've been in the church where the pastor, you know, makes an announcement, a serious announcement. This came from God. You know what I'm saying? I need $22.50 from 50 of y'all over here. I need 15 from 30 of y'all over here.
Let me start with 100.
Right.
Who's gonna follow me?
And God said, and everybody's like, okay. You know what I mean? I don't have it, but okay. All right.
So maybe we need a sermon saying God said solitary confinement, and we got to come out here and step up.
Because essentially God did say it. It's somewhere in there.
But they need the pastor to say it.
Yeah. But you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? When we was having our campaign launch in the library in New Haven in December 10th, and we created all these flyers and we was passing out flyers. I was all over. I was in Fairhaven, West Haven, East Haven. I'm everywhere. I'm in Walmarts. I'm going to stores. I'm hanging them up. I go in this store on Whaley Ave. I'm not gonna say where. But I go in the store, right? I asked the dude, a black dude, you can tell you from the hood. I asked him, yo, bro, can I put this up? He said, what is that? I showed it to him, right? He was like, he said, yeah, you can put it up or whatever, right? So I'm like, I said, yo, bro, I said, let me ask you a question. I said, do you know anybody that's locked up? He's like, first off, he said, I'm not from here.
He said, first off?
Yeah, he said,
that's when you know I won't
talk to you.
I'm
not from here. I said, I'm not from here either, but I live here. So, you know, it don't even matter. But he was like, he said he's from Jamaica, right? He was like, in Jamaica, the prisons, you only eat water and bread and shit. And so,
so we got it
so
good.
he's saying whatever this is basically what he said. Whatever that they're going through. And I showed him the shirt, and I was like, yo, bro, you see this depiction of somebody chained up in a cell, 4-point? This is what they do to you for 3 fucking days, bro. Chained up. He was like, well, you know, basically he told me that he ain't give a fuck because in Jamaica, they only get water and bread, so whatever we got is a luxury. But he said, yeah, I got family that's, you know, locked up and shit, but I said, yo, could you come out to the movement? Like, could you come out and speak? Even if you want to say that, though. Could you just come out, though? You know what I mean? And tell some people to come out. You got
look like the jackass,
please.
Yeah.
Whatever, just come out, bro. And he's like, nah, I don't think I would. He basically told me, nah, get the fuck about it.
And what is he?
So
He
you got
got a
black
store?
people. You got a store, yeah. In the hood, and he's benefiting off of, I don't know if he works in the store. I'm not gonna say where he works in the store. It may not be his store.
Let's say what the store where the store is, bro.
Nah, I ain't gonna do that, bro.
Nah, cause we gonna
Yeah, because it might not be his store. Then you
Yeah,
might
might
shut his
be.
business down.
That's true.
Yeah.
If it's not his store,
And we don't
want
want to shut his
But what I'm
business down.
saying is that, no, let's just say where it is. We ain't gotta say what street. Just
I'm not familiar
say
with
what,
the streets
say
like
what
that.
area. Is it in
it's
the
off of
hill?
Whaley.
It's off of
Listen,
Whaley. Enough said.
regardless
It's in
of
the
what, I
Thank
think
you.
what he represents is a lot of the mindsets of
That's
people.
what I was gonna say.
You know,
That's what I was gonna
who
say.
go against
He's one
what the fuck
of
you trying to
many
do for
that have
us?
mindsets
It's for
like
us,
that.
Yes.
Why are you going against what I'm trying to do for the betterment of everyone, bro?
When he said first of all, or first
You already
off,
knew what that
I
was
already knew I wanted to smack
Yo,
the shit out.
desensitized, man.
Yeah.
Desensitized. That's
Colonized is more like it.
Yeah.
Colonized.
Yeah.
But you know what that's like,
What
motherfucker?
kind?
That's like the gunshots we heard going off when they had the gun range over there.
Right.
That's like you live in the Ville, you hear these gunshots every day. Yo, our people are so used to
Gunshots.
everybody going to jail. They so used to everybody going to jail. It's almost like desensitized. We
Yeah.
throwing parties for people coming home, and the person coming home from college don't get nothing. It's just like, yo, yeah, what's his name back? But we so used to our people just going to jail.
Absolutely. The majority
Insane.
of my
They
I
normalize
want to
it.
say friends. The majority of my associates are people that I was inside with. Because my so-called friends abandoned me when I was in prison. And that's another thing that you need to tell the youth, that I want to tell the youth, that everybody who's gang and they your homies and they your peoples and all that, and they gonna ride or die.
Out
Even
of sight,
even
out of
the shorties,
mind.
even the shorties.
Out of
All
sight,
the
out of
shorties
mind.
you got, and you that nigga and all that.
Yeah.
Out of sight,
Listen,
out of
even
mind.
family members.
Yeah.
But my point is, I've been trying since I've been on this movement to try to bring people. I'm not the only person who's been in solitary, to bring other people, get other voices. Yo, bro, I speak to people. Yo, bro, you been in it? Yeah, I ain't gonna hold you. Yo, so alright, could you come out? And I even give them an incentive. Yo, bro, you could get an honorarium if you speak about your shit, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Money drive people. Yeah, alright, but dudes is not. That's not. Like he said, they desensitized to, so they think it's just regular shit.
You know, I think there should be a, since we we should go back to this video and bring out all these ideas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But one idea, man, I would love to film this, and film as many men and women directly affected by solitary confinement who have experienced it. I want to film all of them in one space. Like, if you see 2,000 people, add on cousins, uncles, mothers, fathers, sons, daughters, add all them on to that 2,000, and you just now you're seeing thousands upon thousands of people directly affected by solitary confinement. An aerial shot, a drone shot of just coming up and seeing all of them. You know what I'm saying?
Let me tell you about our people.
listen.
Let me tell you about.
You
First
get a
of all,
budget, I'll
I'm
film that.
gonna tell you how I don't get upset when people don't show up anymore. Cause my son Sheldon, you know him, very wise beyond his years. There was a protest that I put together because mothers were coming to me and kids were saying, we're trying to get fined for riding our bikes on the sidewalks. I said, well, let's have a protest. That was like my first instinct. Let's protest. So I put a protest together. Maybe 3 people showed up, and I was so frustrated. And my son said, "Ma, you got to remember, when they said that people can get off the plantation, everybody wasn't running off. Some people, a lot of people wanted to stay there because they didn't even know what they were going to do off the plantation. And so that's why I don't get so frustrated when we come out. But let me tell you, I've tried it all. I've tried having food, anything. For some reason, we are so colonized, we are so used to being under the boot of America that I don't think we know what to do if they lift that boot up.
The only thing that...
And it's sad. It's very sad.
Unfortunately, it would take fucking these Democrats.
United States.
Nobody gave a shit about reparations until all of a sudden the Democratic Party wanted to use that as a way to start bringing some black people in.
Yeah, and that's
now
all
everybody cared about it. You know what I'm saying?
So how many
Nobody
people,
cared about it 5 years ago.
How many people do we know, you might know, that your loved one's locked up and they go into solitary confinement and their family don't even know? Or is there even something that, like, if your loved one goes into solitary confinement, whoever's on their visiting list will automatically be contacted?
And when they come home, like, yo, do you know? You know that they went to jail. You know they experienced, but do you
know what they really went through?
They don't though.
Yeah,
and they don't. And we're not just talking about family. We even talking about your spouse or your significant other who don't understand what you went through, and they take and I don't blame people, but they can take it on as a personal thing. Like, for instance, like a lot of people, men and women who been inside, just jail alone, but solitary confinement, have trouble with communication. That's a main thing that they have a problem with, and that causes rifts and problems with, especially with men. You know, women want to talk and they want to understand you and they want to know what's going on, and sometimes you may be irritable and they just don't want to talk. But when I came home, a lot of people wanted to reach out. And I didn't want to talk to people. I did it. You know when you go through some shit and you gotta, like you said, decompress. And you gotta just decompress,
breathe,
sigh for a little while before you do that. And some people take that as you being antisocial or
something's going on with you. Maybe something changed. And
like
you don't know what the fuck I dealt with. You gotta know.
And what's sad is a lot of people don't tell what they went through either.
Right.
Because when I went, the guys that I'm working with now, actually 47 people were in the room when I introduced that I'm going to have this support group. I said, but I want to get only like 5 people, but I really want you to be serious enough about debriefing from the experience, talking about solitary, all that kind of stuff, and then helping to advocate to end it. And so I was lucky I got 5 people. Some people don't want the help.
Yeah, they don't. No doubt.
And I just accept that. So I work with the ones who do.
So,
and the stories they tell me, I'm telling you, it's so sad. After one day listening to their story, I actually had nightmares that night. So now I'm working on, okay, how can I hear their stories without taking on their pain?
Yeah. I mean, trust, the work that you're doing and what you've been through requires just as much therapy as the one that's experiencing. So, again, we're out of time.
I don't think we talk about the transparency that we also
we're looking for in the bill.
In our
okay,
bill.
yeah. Let's go into it.
It needs to be transparency. It needs to be independent, like a community
oversight,
action, agency for independent oversight of the prison, the DOC. Because if we get bills passed and then they just business as usual and they still
nobody's watching
it, nobody's making sure that they are actually following the law.
Right.
We gotta follow the law. They gotta follow the law too.
And that oversight will cut down on how many all these indiscriminate tickets that they give out.
Right.
One guy I was talking to, he ended up in solitary because he said that he had to go to the bathroom while they were doing the count, and they caused that as disrupting the count. So he got solitary for that. Another female told me the same thing happened to her. When they were coming through to do the count, she wasn't in her room, she was on the toilet. So by the time she came out the bathroom, they said you disrupted, solitary. So if you have oversight, those kind of things won't be happening. I mean, and then there was one guy who said he stayed in solitary all the time because he refused to go through the humiliating body cavity searches that they
Oh.
love
Yeah,
to do.
They love that.
And he said, "I'm just staying in solitary because I'm not gonna do that for
That's
you."
a whole nother topic.
And that was painful just to
Why
hear
not?
him
I-
describe it.
That's exactly why I told them people
Yeah.
at going to child support, dealing with child support. I told them people, I said, if you think, I told the judge, I told him, if y'all think y'all gonna lock me up behind taking care of my child, which I well know I do, and it's always not the best, what somebody would deem the best, because it's a struggle out here, but I'm doing my absolute best.
Right.
You understand? Real talk, fam.
Mm-hmm.
If you think you're gonna lock me up behind taking my child, I hope y'all are prepared to kill me today in this courtroom. Judge said, yo, you need counseling. Yeah, they wasn't ready for that. I said, I hope y'all prepared. Yo, when they stood behind me, when the sheriff stood behind me, I turned to the side. I ain't facing the judge no more. He said, why you ain't facing me? I said, because I don't feel comfortable with them standing right there. Yo, let's do this work, y'all.
Yeah, man. So let the people know again where to follow the movement and what the next move is.
www.stopsolitary Connecticut. That's solitary.ct.org.
Alright.
And and we have the website. You can get all the information whenever we have any events coming up. We put all that stuff there. So there's just no excuse for people not knowing.
No
Like
doubt.
I said, I do
You've been
mass
out there.
emails,
Yeah.
social media, all of that. So people know what they want to know.
Well, Mother Fair, we appreciate your work. Always come back here to let the people know what they gotta know. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you
already
for
know
having
what's
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. Leighton, you already know. Appreciate you, bruh.
You already know.
Alright.
And that film you talking about?
Yeah.
Man, listen, I'm around for that. It's already
Yo,
things
you let
in the
me
works
know
for
if
that.
somebody got. I'm about to say somebody got a budget.
It's already things in the work for that. bro.
Oh, okay. Well, if you want somebody, let me know.
You already
Because I'm
know.
ready to do something. If they got a budget
Yes, sir.
and they can give me the people,
Yeah.
we could make a big statement just with that one. There could be something that they say, and one person says it, another person says it. We going around, and before you know, we come up, and you can see a whole block full of people that were affected directly from solitary confinement.
And you'd be surprised.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yo, we gonna do it.
Listen, all right. Moving target to the B-Side Podcast. We appreciate y'all, man. All right?
All right.
Peace.
Yeah, I met him.
Coming back again.
He said he coming back. I met him